G'day, brothers and sisters. We have had an update to the PTS, the public test server. This brings a whole host of tweaks to to perks, prestige perks in particular. We've had some updates to the class perks. We've had weapons updated or improved in many ways. We've had some really good buffs there. We had some great changes to the weapon perks as well, just building on top of what we've already got. And they've also included bringing the Inferno pistol to the assault class, which is really awesome. However, I would really love to see it with the bulwark as well, but maybe we will get that at some time in the future. So the developers they have listened somewhat to the feedback from the PTS forums. I think they really need to change their plans for the implementation of the prestige perk system, but I don't want to keep getting into that. I've said what I need to say on the forums about that. You can go check that out, but I'm not necessarily happy about that, but I am really happy about pretty much everything else they are doing with Update 7. So let's get stuck into having a look at their first set of changes here, and that's to do with the Assault class. Alright, so Assault was pretty much the only class that got the update to their class as general, not looking at the Prestige perk. So they had the jump pack increased by 10% for operations only. Their secondary weapons damage is increased to 20%, so that's quite nice. Especially you've now got the Inferno pistol, so the Inferno pistol is going to be hitting pretty hard. They've also made a slight tweak there to the contested health, how that's done with ground pound. So ground pound will now restore 30% of max contested health, regardless of the type of enemy and their number. When hit by a ground pound, 30% of max contested health is restored. So that's the changes there for the Assault class. We'll now move on to the Prestige perks updates that they've made. So Tactical has had a few. Accuracy, instead of it being 2% and scaling then all the way up to 10%, it's going to go from 3% and scale all the way to 15% as long as you keep hitting those headshots. Skilled Supply, you're going to get a bonus 15% to your ammo. Pretty nice. Spare Power, it's going to increase your ability recharge by 25% as opposed to what it was before with 10%. Resilience, you're going to get 40% for picking up Medicaid stims now. Yeah, pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Makes it kind of valuable now to pick up those Medicaids and take them and use them as tactical rather than trying to, only use them when you're in dire need. You could potentially get most of your health back. So it's quite nice. Still within. I think that was a little bit to me. And they removed it basically. To me, it wasn't just. It's almost kind of useless. So, but look, getting 15% extra health to me, I don't think it's necessarily fantastic either. But I mean, still better than nothing. Assault, its prestige perks got boosted recharge. Now this one's actually a really nice one. Getting back. So when you're in the middle of battle, sometimes you see those armor boosts. Picking them up now means you're going to get a jump pack charge as well, plus all your armor back. So it's a really good combination, 1-2 combination there for Assault. Practice aim. I don't know why they had to reduce it. I don't understand why they felt they needed that, but they reduced it to 15%. So not necessarily a buff, obviously. But they did change the way Indomitable Spirit works, which I think is actually really good. And going with Adrenaline Boost now, after a perfectly timed parry or dodge, you do not lose control, taking heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back for 10 seconds. That's a lot more useful for Assault, trust me. Vanguard, I said this was my favorite one when I had my video there about the Vanguard Prestige perks. But, going from 20 to 10%, it sucks a bit, but it's not terrible. I'll make some comment on there on my one, but I'd probably drop that down. I would take Indomitable Spirit as my first one now. Battlefield Awareness would be kind of a bit of a flex now. I don't think they needed to drop that down, but maybe they felt it was just too good. I don't think so. I don't think it was like crazy good. It was really good. I felt like this one's a bit of a kick in the nads. Bulwark. This one's really good. I like it's in line with what they're doing Tactical. We're now going to get 40% health restoration with a Medkay. This is kind of in line with what they're trying to do is that the Bulwark isn't always having to be the healer. But it also means that the Bulwark can pick up those sims and get a nice big heal from it. And then you can use the banner someone else as well instead of, trying to hold off from not using and just using their banner for themselves almost. Standard Bearer, that one's they just tweaked it. You become invulnerable for 2 seconds. They just tweaked the perk's description. Some more of a text change. Melee kills on extremist or level high enemies. Restore your secondary weapons ammo by 1 magazine with that's auxiliary reload. Yeah, yeah, helpful for sure. All right, so sniper now. I mean, they've got a bit of a typo here. Versatile precision is mentioned at the top and then the bottom here. Pretty sure it's the same thing. Basically, performing a kill with your secondary weapon restores 15% of your primary weapon's ammo. Cooldown is 15 seconds. Very nice. They changed that away from being secondary weapon spread is reduced by 20. No one cared. No one really cared about that. It was a really silly perk. So I'm glad they replaced it with something that's actually quite useful. And getting that ammo back kind of makes me wonder whether or not I would take the melter or the bolt pistol again, because I know I got quite a few kills there with bolt pistol. And getting my primary ammo back all the time is quite nice. I'm not a sniper main. It's probably lower down on my preference of what I would choose. I would like to hear a lot of you guys' feedback. If you are sniper with your main class, or you just like playing it, what are your thoughts there on that versatile precision? Would you take the melter or the bolt pistol? Like, what would you do there? What pistol do you like to take now? You got a bit more variety. I'm next moving on the boosted recharge. Very nice. Again, like getting more than one thing for an action you do. This aligns with that. You now not just get an armor boost, you're also going to get a camo cloak back straight away. Is really good. Really as well. So that's really helpful. I do like how they're changing around a lot of this adrenaline boost and abdominal spirit, making it more in line with what's needed for that class. And sniper is really good here. You're going to get indomitable spirit. You do a lot of gun strikes with the sniper, and this is actually quite helpful. That you will not lose control, taking heavy hits after you've done and you can't be knocked back while performing a gun strike. So that's a really helpful one. All right, on to heavy. They've replaced the overcharge with reverberating impact, basically giving you an area effect radius when you stomp by 50%. They've changed best defense, or rather they've replaced it with indomitable spirit, which we know already. We talked about just before. Gun strike. You do not lose control upon taking heavy hits and cannot be knocked back while you're doing those gun strikes. So, you do that quite often as heavy. I do think that's a really good one. Perseverance, they replaced it with Duelist. Perfect parry and block windows. And I mean, okay, that's what I want as a heavy. Increase my melee ability. And then because you've increased my melee ability and you've increased the effect of my area on my AoE stomp, I can now get an ammo magazine back now, which, it's not too bad. I just feel that there is barely anything here that helps you being a heavy, as in being a long-range support character. I mean, overall, these prestige perks are kind of make it an overall bit more balanced, but I don't think the whole point of a prestige perk should be to do this. I think prestige perks should be honing in on what makes that class unique, not trying to compensate for things it doesn't have. Give it more of what it already does so that you can be more of the angel of death that the Emperor has made them to be. That's what I think they need to be. So I feel like heavy's still missing what it needs there, but that's my thoughts. I don't play heavy as a primary, so I'd love to hear your thoughts there on that as well. All right, let's go have a look at the weapon perks now that they're changing. All right, let's go have a look at the weapon perk changes. Neo Volkite pistol, distributed deflagration, fixed heat distribution surrounding enemies. Quite helpful. Very nice for those people who really like that. I'm not really a big fan of Neo Volkite, but I can see that's going to be a very nice little tweak. Heavy bolt pistol, Adamant Hunter. This perk has been replaced with discipline. I do like this one because you will get there sometimes with the heavy bolt pistol. It doesn't have as much ammo. So having that is really nice. They're giving you just 25% more damage when your ammo is low. Headhunter being reworked to have a new version of goes with tactical precision. Headshots deal 20% more damage. Non-headshots decrease by 10%. It's actually really good. I think that's a really good perk for the heavy bolt pistol. It's a very good pistol, and it's going to be really helpful, and it's going to be a hard even one for an assault to choose now between maybe going that or the melter. But I'd love to see what people do with that. And only the third headhunter has been reworked. They make a note there. So I just want to point that out as well, by the way, guys. So only the third one, not all of them, you're going to have that. It's not going to then stack. Elite Precision has got reworked to Perpetual Precision. I like that they've reduced the crews because we do know that the spread on the heavy bolt pistol is quite big, so it is good to have a little bit of a fix there, but I mean, I don't really think it's going to be... You get used to it after a while. They've made some little tweaks there to the wording. That's actually, those two abilities there, really quite nice, especially with the heavy bolt pistol. But they fixed up the wording for it, how it actually is working, which a few people flagged in the forums. Heavy bolt rifle, I like this one. You know, the bottom row and the top row of both perk trees for this gun are actually really good. And I'm going to touch on that in another video. But now I'm glad they've got the update out here. I think this is probably what they're going to run with. So yeah, we've got cleaving fire added there. So now we're going to get through the block stances. We've got able precision, has been reworked to have remote threat. I like this one. There's actually 2 of those. So yeah, they talk about just afterwards. There's 2 of them, so you're now going to be getting 40% extra damage when you're shooting from farther away. I mean, the reason I think they're adding this and this ability to get through the block stance and the remote threats is that what they're trying to do is, I believe, make a tactical class that can play the long range game. Now, this might be something leading towards horde mode and how that's going to be played out, where you're going to have a lot of long range shots and you're going to be dealing with large hordes of them. And you're going to be just standing back shooting. You're not going to want to let them get to you. So I think that a lot of this actually is not just for the immediate operations. There are actually some long-term benefits. And the heavy bolt rifle, I think, is going to be very key guns. If you haven't got that leveled up, that's going to be really... And it's actually a really fun gun now with the scope. Definitely recommend checking it out if you haven't already. Bolt sniper rifles has some nice little tweaks there as well. Fixed the wrong value for strong start and strong finish, similar to what they did with the bolt pistol. I think it's just misworded. They've had a few of those and they've cleaned that up now. And they're basically just, and then switch those positions, going with reloaded restoration, and switch position with cleaving fire. I mean, it doesn't really make much difference to most people playing this game, the order there, but it does actually make more sense to where you are when you're leveling up the gun, and I did see that when I looked at that tree, so it makes a bit more sense. So that they've done some really nice changes there. All right, so the weapons have also had some basic changes to just the way they function. Bolt pistol and PvE only increase its max ammo by 2 magazine size, so you get more, plus 12 extra bolt rounds for the bolt pistol. Base damage is also increased by 5%. Headshot damage is going to be increased by 15%. Heavy bolt rifle as well has had some changes. The weapon now possesses 1 additional clip for all versions, increasing the maximum pull from 180 to 225. Headshot damage increased by 15%. I'm telling you, that is a really fun gun for you guys to try. And if you look at the perk trees that were like the perk tree that was changed, just making it a very long range support weapon basically for the squad, it kind of changes the way the tactical can play with a bigger gun than, say, the Stalker bolt rifle. So giving the tactical class, and I think a lot of this, like I said, is to do with horde mode and just giving a different way to play the tactical class, giving a bit more variety. I don't think it's a really good change. The Inferno pistols had some slight tweaks. Ammo pool being reduced by 30% for PvE. Not really. Whatever. I had a play around. It doesn't really. It's like 1 or 2 shots. The magazine cartridge for PvP is only 2 cartridges. Decreased rate of fire as well from 60 RPM. And then they also changed the base damage from 70 to 70 per shot. Auto bolt rifle headshot damage increased by 15%. Also really awesome. You're pretty much getting them straight to execute if you're getting those headshots, which you already were before, but I found it a little bit easier to get them, and if you missed, you were still doing a significant amount of damage. So great little change there. Finally, they've got last few little things that they've changed. Base XP for all operation modes increased by 10%. They also increased it if you're working on your prestige levels, because every time you get a prestige level, you're also going to now get another additional 10% XP on it, resulting in basically a 30% XP by the time you get to your last prestige perk that you've got to grind and get. So very nice overall, 40% increase of XP. going to make that very quick to get to when you finally get to that last one. But just overall, you're going to get there a little bit quicker. Still don't like how you got to do it anyway. But anyway, I digress. Prestige perks, reset cost lower than 750. I don't know if they think many people are going to be constantly changing it that much, or that they're so short on the credits. I reckon just either just leave it there or just give it to us for free, whatever. Like you've done for free with most of all the other perk things. Added a maximum cap to restore fade HP per action. This is just on that on each weapon here. You get a melter rifle. It's going to reduce now. Multi-melter. Melters were probably the most, probably had the highest amount of that health, restoration. So it's good to see them probably brought back a little bit, because they were, I think, a little bit overpowered, but they were a lot of fun as well. So I hope that doesn't deter people too much from enjoying those weapons, because I still find them quite fun. Heavy plasma incinerator also, and plasma pistol. Then they made a little slight change there to exfiltration, which won't really matter to most people, but just making the battery, it has been dropped for too long, it'll teleport back to the last holder. If they drop it, and they just, sometimes they get a little bugged out as well, I saw. But anyway, added switching back to primary weapon after carried battery was dropped. There was a little bit of a bug as part of what I was talking about. So yeah, little tweaks there, but overall, some nice updates they've made. They've listened to the community, some of the feedback on some of the different perks and everything like that. So overall, great job. Looking forward to playing a bit more with this and getting some guides out there and my opinions on the best prestige perks for each class. Finally, brothers and sisters, I would like to also point out that they didn't mention here, but you can fight the TRYGON now in the public test server. That's right, brothers and sisters, you can go do that as well. So if you do have access to the public test server and want to see what that TRYGON boss battle's like, go check it out now. But thank you, brothers and sisters, for watching. And if this was helpful for you catching up on what has been changed, what's going to be coming in update 7, if you like this, let me hear some of your thoughts in the comments. I would, as I said, appreciate giving me a like, subscribe, help me grow this channel and help us get the word out there of an Aussie playing Space Marine 2. If you would like to catch up with me watching me test update 7 patch 2, I will be playing with it on the Thursday evening my time. Check out me on Twitch, link is in the description below. Love to see you there, get to hang out with you. But remember, brothers, courage and honor, and for the Emperor!